life. It's the beginning of an ancient secretive process that will shape. Pope Francis has died at the age of 88 after nearly 12 years as the leader of the Roman Catholic Church. When a pope dies, a centuries-old ritual begins. The first person to be informed, and the one to confirm his death, is the Camerlengo, a powerful man who manages the Church and Vatican income. Tradition has it that the Camerlengo has to stand over the body of the Pope and call him 3 times by his baptismal name. If he does not rise, the Pope is declared dead, the cardinals are informed, and the papal apartments are sealed off. Part of the ritual is breaking the Pope's ring. The ring seals the power of the Pope, and breaking it signifies the end of his reign and makes sure no one can imitate him. Only then the public is informed, and 9 days of mourning are declared. While roughly 1.4 billion Catholics all over the world might mourn their leader, soon a secret struggle for power will begin. But before that, a funeral takes place. The funeral of Pope John Paul II in 2005 was one of the biggest funerals in history. 4 million people gathered to mourn the Pope in the Vatican City, the little independent church state in the middle of the Italian capital, Rome. Traditionally, popes are buried in 3 nested coffins made of cypress, lead, and oak. But Pope Francis, true to his simplest style, chose a plain wooden coffin lined with zinc. No flashy displays, no elevated platform. Just his body lying in the coffin with the lid off for mourners to pay their respects. And in another break from tradition, Francis is the first pope in over a century to be buried outside the Vatican, in the Basilica of St. Mary Major in Rome. Benedict XVI, who unusually resigned due to old age 9 years before he died in 2022, was buried in the famous St. Peter's Basilica, the final resting place of over 90 popes. The election for a new pope, called the conclave, happens in strict secrecy inside the Sistine Chapel, 2 to 3 weeks after the pope's death. No phones, no media, no outside contact. Each cardinal votes for their preferred candidate on a paper ballot, and this process continues over and over until someone gets a 2/3 majority. Election is not always easy. They can take days or even weeks. Some cardinals have even died during conclaves. The longest papal election in history was from 1268 to 1271, lasting almost 3 years. It was marred by political infighting between cardinals. Any baptized Catholic man can become the Pope. In theory, you could just walk through the doors of the papal apartments and nominate yourself. Chances are, however, you will not get the necessary 2/3 of the vote from the cardinals if they don't know you. When Pope Francis was elected in 2013, he made history as the first South American Pope. But historically, the cardinals have preferred Italians. A whopping 217 out of 266 popes have been from Italy. So if all of this is done behind closed doors, how do we know when a decision has been made? Simple. A smoke signal through a chimney to the outside world. Black smoke means no winner. White smoke means habemus papam, we have a pope. Once the white smoke appears, it's a countdown. Usually within an hour, the new pope will step out on the balcony overlooking St. Peter's Square. Senior cardinal announces habemus papam, Latin for we have a pope. And then the big reveal, the Pope's name. They don't have to keep their birth name. Pope Francis was born Jorge Mario Bergoglio. He chose Francis to honor St. Francis of Assisi. The death of a pope.
Nshuti bakunzi ba African Media TV Rwanda, nongeye kubasuhuza mbabwira ni amahoro y'Imana akomeze kubana namwe kandi mbifuriza kugira umugoroba mwiza. Rero kuri tariki ya 20 z'ukwezi kwa kane mwaka 2025 nje kubagezaho amakuru ateye atya nubwo ababaje. Kuri uyu munsi tariki 20 z'ukwezi kwa mbere haje kumenyekana inkuru y'akababaro yaje kuba yagera ku bantu inshamugongo. Turaza kubabwira ko Papa Francis yaje kuba yitaba Imana muri iki gitondo cyo kuri uyu wa mbere, akaba yaje kwitaba Imana ndetse akaba hateganyijwe kuba haba amatora y'uzamusimbura. Muri aya matora y'uzamusimbura hateganyijwe ko mu Rwanda Karidinali Kambanda nawe ashobora kuzaba yakwitabira amatora agomba kuzasimbura Papa Francis. Rero mu butumwa twagiye tubona abakuru b'ibihugu bagiye bihanganisha umuryango wa Vatikani, twaje kubona ubutumwa bwa Perezida Evariste Ndayishimiye, yafashe iya mbere mu kwihanganisha Vatikani, cyane ko Perezida Evariste Ndayishimiye ari muri bamwe mu baperezida babashije kuba bagera i Vatikani kuganira na Papa. Nyuma yaho twaje kubona n'ubutumwa bwa Perezida wa Repubulika y'u Rwanda, nawe yaje gutanga ubutumwa bwo kwihanganisha umuryango wa Vatikani, kandi turacyakomeza kubakurikiranira amakuru 5 kuri 5, turaza kuyabagezaho uko ibintu bigiye bimeze n'uko imihango yo kumushingura izagenda. Turakomeje kugenda tubikurikirana 5 kuri 5 umunsi ku wundi. Ntukabe kure ya African Media TV Rwanda kugira ngo amakuru ajye kugeraho uko ubyifuza.
Pope Francis has died at the age of 88 after nearly 12 years as the leader of the Roman Catholic Church. When a pope dies,
Papa Francis ni umwe mu bapapa bagiye bakora ibikorwa bigiye bitandukanye byo kwegera abababaye, abafasha hirya no hino. Papa Francis yagiye akora ingendo nyinshi zigiye zitandukanye, asura abantu bagiye bababaye, yita ku bababaye. Papa Francis akaba yaravutse akavukira muri Leta Zunze Ubumwe za Amerika, ndetse akaba afite abavandimwe 4, akaba apfuye ku myaka ye 88, akaba ariyo apfuye afite. Dukomeza kwihanganisha Papa Francis n'umuryango we n'abakatolike bose muri rusange, mukomeze kwihangana.